to finish up with the Julian Assange situation in a moment, and this dead tech, high-level tech operative, just like a Snowden, over emails, over outreach, and reportedly Assange is saying, yes, we have 20,000 reward for info on the murdered DNC staffer, and he's saying, look, yes, it's him. And again, Assange wouldn't know specifically. He would just get some basic data on where it came from. That's why Assange has been saying some stuff comes from the Russians. There's all these governments inside these servers. The scandal is, why are they sharing this data on unencrypted servers? But a lot of this is coming from the inside. And of course, Snowden came from the inside. So many others did. And now the guy's executed. But first, beaten. And then shot 4 times in the back. And the police in D.C. are saying, nothing to see here, move along, another telltale sign. So what really happened to Seth Rich? Well, we know Hillary likes to kill people. We know she's got a long history of having her henchmen do it. She brags about it. And then her weirdo apologists get up there and act like it's preposterous that this war queen, this torture queen, would be involved in something like this when it could bring her down. And the entire crime syndicate of the Communist Chinese, the Saudi Arabians, and others she represents. Here's Julian Assange last night.
Donald Trump has had a disastrous few weeks. If you look at the polls, he needs a miracle. In the American political lexicon, there's such a thing as the October surprise. The stuff that you're sitting on, is an October surprise in there? Do you even know what you're sitting on?
WikiLeaks never sits on material. Whistleblowers go to significant efforts to get us material and often very significant risks. As a 27-year-old works for the DNC, who was shot in the back, murdered just 2 weeks ago for unknown reasons as he was walking down the street in Washington. So
that was just a robbery, I believe, wasn't it?
No, there's no finding. So
hit pause. Back it up 5 seconds, please. German television and German print is some of the most controlled in the world. In fact, it just came out a few months ago where some of the top newspaper editors said, look, we're told to say what we say by the CIA daily. Don't blame us. And of course, Dutch TV, just all of it is so incredibly state-run. This is Dutch TV, but it's just as bad. And it makes the head spin to go, Donald Trump will need a miracle to win with all these fake polls they've got. I mean, we know they're fake. We have the methodology. You add 10 to 15 points, more Democrats into your sample than Republicans. They shouldn't be polling like that. They should be going out in the streets. They should be hitting people up via email. They should be going on social networks and randomly picking people and then questioning them. But they do it with landlines, with phone numbers and databases. They know what results they're going to get. And let me explain something. I've paid for 5 or 6 polls myself. You can go read the news articles about them over the years. And I would contact Zogby, Reuters, Mason-Dixon, Gallup, you name it. And the cheapest poll you could get was like $10,000. And I would say straight questions. I'd say I want just a straight demographic, because you have to check off all these boxes and talk to them on the phone for hours. And I want to ask them just simple questions. And they would go, how about we ask it like this? And always change it to basically take my money, but then push some agenda that they separately had with their corporate supporters and corporate donors. That's how polls work. It's very hard to get real polling numbers. That's why you've got to hire top pollsters and have your own internal polls. Not to tell you what you want to hear, but to know. You can't go with the mainline polls. So there's internal polling that governments and corporations do, and they've got it via Google and Facebook and Twitter. They've all got their databases. And then they've got the fake polls for the public. And basically, they're all fake. People go, oh, look at the Drudge poll. You know, it lets you vote once, but people can go to other devices or whatever. And, oh, look, remember Hillary Clinton got like 2%, and Jeb Bush got like 2%, and Bernie Sanders of the Democrats was getting like 70%, and so was Trump, I mean, I'm giving you a gestalt. There were a bunch of those polls. But Hillary never got above single digits. That's more indicative where 2 million people go vote on a poll and no one cares enough to get Hillary Clinton up above 10%. Or Jeb Bush up above 2 to 4%, depending on which time they did the poll. The most unscientific are the most scientific because the scientific ones are completely gamed like a $3 bill. But I'm going to stop right there. Dutch TV, German TV, even when RT has them on, they don't get to the hard questions with Assange. And it's like, oh, he was robbed, the guy shot in the back. Oh, he was really, Trump's going to lose. I mean, the whole thing is pitched like this. Let's continue.
It's a robbery, I believe, wasn't it?
No, there's no finding. So
what are you suggesting? What are you suggesting?
I'm suggesting that our sources take risks and they become concerned to see things occurring like that.
But was he one of your sources then?
We don't comment on who our sources are.
But why make the suggestion about a young guy being shot in the streets of Washington?
Because we have to understand how high the stakes are in the United States, and that our sources are...
Hit pause again, please. And then just back it up 5 seconds. This so-called anchor is just salivating to jump in and ridicule, oh, this young guy shot in the street. He doesn't even have a name now. He's not a top DNC staffer over tech. He's not the outreach individual. There haven't been other deaths. He's just some guy. He's just shot in the street in D.C. I mean, come on, Assange. And Assange is like, do you understand the climate? Do you understand the stakes? Remember, Assange sits there for hours a day reading all this classified stuff. All the horrible stuff, the torture, the secret police, the horrible evil, what information he says will bring Hillary down, which he better release quick. And you got this salivating sycophant not even hiding his impartiality. You know, in the Netherlands, it's a state secret what the Dutch royal family's even worth. That's how controlled their press is, but the public there thinks it's open and free. There are none so blind as those who have eyes but yet cannot see. To quote the good book. Let's finish the clip.
And that our sources are, you know, our sources face serious risks. That's why they come to us, so we can protect their anonymity.
But it's quite something to suggest a murder. That's basically what you're doing.
Well, that others have suggested that. We are investigating to understand what happened in that situation with Seth Rich. I think it is a concerning situation. There's not a conclusion yet. We wouldn't be willing to state a conclusion, but we are concerned about it. And more importantly, a variety of WikiLeaks sources are concerned when that kind of thing happens.
Now, let's expand on this. We have heard from 30, 40, it's got to be more than that, world leaders, political pundits, political candidates calling for the execution or murder, assassination in the field of Mr. Snowden. Now, Hillary is a globalist operative. Do you think they want to kill somebody that's going to leak the fact that they directed the theft of the election from Bernie Sanders? That's what was leaked to Julian Assange. That's what he already released in part 1. Who do you think has their hands on that? Who do you think would see that? A Bernie Sanders supporter in the DNC that witnesses the fraud, witnesses the orders, and sends it to Assange, and then within 1 week of it being out is gunned down.